Basketball Podcast, also as M.O.B Podcast, episode 81 from Mamba. I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
This is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games from the previous day. Take 3. All right, how are you this Monday, Ja?
I'm chilling. I'm good.
That's good. Doing better than your connection. I'm doing good as well. I hope everyone having a good day. Oh, everyone will have a good day. Start of the week Monday, so you know what I always say, get to it. And to last through the day and last through the week. But all right. A lot of basketball action from last night. Some news, some good, some bad, some very bad, some disappointing, some funny. So let's get into the basketball games from last night. First, starting off with the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Washington Wizards. And the Washington Wizards got out to a hot start, got out to an early lead, but then the Nets, with their high-power offense, quickly counteracted that. Got out and made it competitive, then took over the game in that second quarter. And in that second half, they were the ones having the lead, trying to build it, but the Wizards would not go away. The Wizards kept keeping the game close in range for them to make a comeback. Also, the Nets had injury, and Landry Shamet rolled his ankle. He left the game. He didn't return. So that's bad news for the Nets as he brings some depth and three-point shooting to their team. So that's going to be a valuable piece as they're going to miss. Hopefully he is fine. Any news about his injury we'll be updating you about it. But continuing on with the game, like I said, the Wizards would not fall behind. They always kept it within reach enough to make a push in that fourth quarter, closing the lead to within 2. And then Kyrie with a beautiful pass to Claxton. That's his name, right? His name. Yep. Claxton, who had a and one and sealed the deal with the Nets, giving them their win, which was also Blake Griffin's debut. So let me get your thoughts about the Nets.
Yeah, this was a highly competitive game. The Nets are always going to be the Nets regardless, no matter in good or bad situations. Again, they're built, their system is built to last in a way in terms of the offensive end. And you can see it, but you got to give a lot of more credit to the Wizards because this is their third time facing each other this season. And it has always been competitive each and every second of every moment. You know what I mean? And it looks like the Wizards always had the opportunity to beat the Nets whenever they faced each other, in which they did twice already. So I think this is the Nets' first win against them. So
yes,
just good fight.
Is this the Nets' first win against them?
Yep. So and it could have been the other way around, in which this kind of been the third loss for the Nets against the Wizards. So just good job by the Wizards.
Yep. As for the Nets, one particular Net in particular, Blake Griffin, like I said, made his debut. Didn't play that much. Only I believe less than 15 minutes, or at a 15-minute what you call limit, at a 15-minute limit. Really, like I said, didn't do much, but he did have his first dunk since the 2019 season. What?
I'm not saying another word.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Go ahead, say it.
I'm not saying it.
Go ahead, say it.
I'm not saying it.
Well, since you won't say it, I'll say it for you. There's a stat for everything.
I swear it's a stat for everything. The fact that really took your time out of your days to really try to find out the last time he dunked is kind of embarrassing to me.
Listen. Just let it be. Nonetheless, that was the one and only highlight for Blake Griffin in his return. As for the rest of the Nets, Harden and Kyrie did their thing as usual, as we've been seeing throughout this entire year.
Yeah.
Claxton was really big time off the bench. I talked about the bucket that he had, sealing the deal, the and one off the great pass by Kyrie. And he had 16 points coming off the bench he's
Yeah.
actually been playing really well for this Nets team recently.
Yeah. Young talent. They talked a lot about his potential. And once again, I think one thing for sure we forget to highlight is that not only is KD out, but Spencer Dinwiddie's out. And I heard Spencer Dinwiddie talk about this dude, and he's really good.
Yeah, Nicholas Claxton, go look him up. He's done a really good job filling that role for the Nets. He might
Yeah.
need to do a do more of a better job with the injury to Landry Shamet, seeing
Yeah.
how long it will take him to be out. But yeah, besides that, great win by the Nets, avenging those two losses against the Wizards earlier in the season.
Yes.
And a good response from the crowd for Blake Griffin. It's nice to see him smiling and happy and not stuck in Detroit. All right. Next up, the next game that we were talking about, doubleheader. The defending champions, Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, LeBron was out up against the Phoenix Suns. And despite LeBron being out, the Lakers still played competitive basketball, still fought. The ball really went through Harrell and Schroeder in this game. You can tell they gave Harrell a lot of touches. He also got a lot of touches off of rebounds and off of hustle.
Yeah.
Schroeder was really their primary scorer.
Yeah.
And when LeBron was in the lineup, he was their secondary scorer with AD being out. So he needed to have that load for them.
Yeah.
And both of them, they did a good job, as well as Kuzma. But the Suns, this is just the Suns team. They are better. And they were just able to beat this Lakers team, despite the competitiveness of the Lakers, despite the fight from the Lakers. And it wasn't a blowout. The Lakers had around I don't know why I'm so blank right now, but the Lakers had around hovering around a double digit, around 10 to 12
Yeah.
throughout that second half. But then the fourth quarter was really when the Suns started to pull away.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, I felt like the Suns kind of way more better. Cause I felt like with them having the fully advantage of having a healthy team, I thought, and there's no disrespect to the Lakers. I'm just being honest. I felt like them being just the more superior team, they would run away with this. But that's once again me sleeping on a championship team, and, like or a championship DNA, such as the Lakers, who added on pieces who could potentially be like championship DNA players. Schroeder, Harold, Kuzma, all of those guys just played at a high competitive level, and they showed why no matter what, they're gonna always continue to fight and show that Laker pride like that has always been shown throughout the years.
Yep. Also, props to Taylor Horton Tucker, who has been playing well for the past few games and had another good game last night for the Lakers. As for the Suns, their big three stepped up. Devin Booker, 26, DeAndre Ayton, 26, Chris Paul, who didn't really have a big scoring night and was struggling in terms of putting the ball in the hoop, but
Yeah.
he was big everywhere else. Had triple double, 10 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 steals. Was doing it all for the Suns. So despite the fight in the Lakers, the Suns do prevail, getting the win against the defending champions. All right. A lot of other games happening around the league. Oh, it's some interesting
Yeah.
batch of games that we had. What would you like to talk about
The
first?
first game I like to talk about is the Nuggets versus the Pelicans. The Nuggets had the momentum for most of the game, in which Murray was balling out, but then that fourth quarter hit, and the Pelicans made a run that seen them take the lead, and then it was just a back and forth from there and there. But yet Ingram coming up down in the clutch down the stretch was able to close out this game for the Pelicans.
Well, that was short. Yeah. Brandon Ingram and Zion, another 30 ball from both of them. And when you get those type of games like that, and Pelicans playing well down the stretch, imagine that. They can actually win games. Wow, imagine that. So great win by the Pelicans against a good, obviously good Nuggets team.
Yeah. The other game I would like to talk about is the Pacers versus the Heat. And
Yes.
this was a highly competitive game. Not much in terms of long range shooting or anything. This was more paint presence and movement of the basketball to work it inside, and you can see it. But mainly, this was mainly the Pacers throughout the duration of this game. They had a double digit lead for majority of the game until the Heat started mounting their comeback thanks to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, who has some monster dunks, by the way. Who
Oh
is
my God, dunk on Sabonis. Oh my God, he dunked on him so hard. I was contemplating about whether he was an All-Star or not.
I thought I had to pick Robert on him for a second right there. But outside of that, the Heat just showing that mentality that they usually show. They were able to mount a comeback because of specifically their star captain Jimmy Butler, and they were able to bring it in thing down in single digits, and they had an opportunity to top the game and send it to overtime. Jimmy Butler had a good look at a three, but wasn't able to convert.
Send it to overtime. You mean
They were
send it
down
to
by
double
three.
overtime? It was
Yeah,
already in overtime.
yeah, you're right. My bad. I forgot they tied it up at the line. My
You good? You good? Yes, he did tie up that line at the line, forcing it to overtime, and the Pacers did pick it up in overtime. And as you said, they had a chance to tie the game, send it to double overtime, but to no avail. And the Pacers getting a 2-win sweep against this Heat team.
bad.
Finally acting like the Pacers that we know of, because they was playing bad recently. Now looking like to get back on track now. All right. Before you talk about that game, I'll talk about my
Yeah.
game featuring the New York Knicks going up against these Sixers and the refs. I mean, these Sixers. And this was the Sixers were playing competitively. No Embiid, but that didn't matter. The Sixers team is not just an Embiid team. Embiid is the one that is supposed to take them to the promised land. But it's still a great supporting cast, still a great team. Shake Milton, Danny Green, who played like he was on the Spurs. Uh, Tobias Harris, even though he struggled in that game, and we're gonna talk about it in a bit. Uh, Cork Maz. I mean, a great team, great all around performance, and they had the lead in that fourth quarter. But the Knicks, being the Knicks, and the fight that they have, and the hustle that they have, and their defense, and this was a really low scoring game in terms of modern NBA terms. And this is what you got to get when you play the Knicks. This is what you get to get when you watch the Knicks. A
Yeah.
high competitive defensive battle, and that's what it was between the Sixers and the Knicks. And it came down to the line in which the game was essentially over. The Sixers had to get the win.
Yeah.
Danny Green hit a big floater, uh, and the Sixers got the ball. Tobias Harris on the foul line. They're up by 3. And Tobias Harris misses both free throws.
Yeah.
And the Knicks get the ball back. Julius Randle on a step back in the corner onto Tobias Harris. Gets the Kawhi friendly 2K bounce.
That luckiness on that
And the
shot.
ball goes in and we tied up. And not only that, the Sixers turned the ball over on the inbound. Julius Randle had a chance to win the game. He took a 3, which I think if he would have just took a few more steps, took a jump shot,
Yeah.
because I don't think it would have gotten to
Yeah.
the layup line that quick.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have got to the paint that quick. So if he would have took a few more steps, got into the mid range, got into this little spot, I think it would have been a better chance. But he didn't. He ended up taking a tough 3, and he missed. Thus, this game's going to overtime, and a back and forth ensued. Alec Burks was big time in that overtime. One of the few decisions which I agree with Tom Thibodeau of letting quickly go on the bench, because Alec Burks got to start in OT and he was playing great for them. He had some big time shots, had good defense, but Danny Green, like I said, was clicking in that overtime like he was on the Spurs. I mean, RJ Barrett, what are you doing? I mean, he couldn't guard him. And the Knicks did have the lead up by 1 and they did fail to rebound. And the Sixers got the ball,
Yeah.
and they ended up missing their shot. Was it Danny Green, I think, who missed the shot?
Yeah.
Or was it Shake Milton? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember. I think it was. Are you talking about the last possession?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I think it was Shake. I think it was. I think it was Shake.
Yes. Yes. Milton missed it. And the Knicks tried to get the ball, and the Knicks got the rebound, but a loose ball foul was called on Julius Randle. The Knicks wanted to challenge it for some reason. I don't know what happened.
They just
They
couldn't challenge it.
they
I guess.
couldn't challenge it.
Yeah.
I think if they would have challenged it, I think it would have went the Sixers' way anyway. But nonetheless, that was controversial because they wasn't allowed to challenge it, which was weird. And they wanted to challenge it. Either way, the Knicks still had a chance to win the game, down by 1. Julius Randle has the ball, gets it to a spot, step back, jumper, and it goes in and out. And the Knicks do fall to the refs. The Sixers, and they lose 101 to 100 in overtime. A heartbreaking loss as a Knicks fan.
Yeah. And this is the second time in which I lost a close game to the Sixers, man. In which I had the opportunity to win.
Yes. There's so many games we've lost close to the refs. I mean, so many tight games we've lost. I don't understand, but we need to get it better down the stretch. Maybe start paying them more.
I understand your pain when it comes to the striped shirts. I understand your pain.
No. I just mean down the stretch. The Knicks are just struggling. That's all.
Yeah.
The striped shirts. Oh no, not the refs. I would never. Come on. I'm better than that. But anyway, despite all that, good win by the Sixers.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to the game. The Thunder against the Rockets. Technically a rematch from the first round of the playoffs from last year. Two completely different teams from last year. But hey.
Look, man. I'm just gonna keep it simple, straightforward, man. I couldn't believe it in a way. The Thunder was killing the Rockets from the 3. Just absolutely killing them from the 3. And I think that's the reason why they even had the advantage in this game, because of the fact that the 3 ball just went in their favor. Meanwhile, the Rockets, I don't know what the hell their defense was doing at the end of the floor. But they were not getting they were not contesting, they were not doing anything. And mind you, don't get me wrong, of course, the stars balled out. Oladipo, Wall, Wood, they balled out, all had I think 22 plus in the game. But it's just like, you know what I mean? This Thunder team just had it go. When you have it cooking from all cylinders on offense, then as a result, of course they're going to get an advantage like this. And to talk about the last possession, you get like why
Louis Dort.
Like, oh my God.
I know that's not his first name, but Louis Dort.
Oh man, just
put the clamps on John Wall on the final possession of the Rockets. Pull up the screen, pull up the footage. John Wall had a layup blow by, but he gets blocked by Lou Dort.
That wasn't even the last possession. That was like the third to last possession. They had an opportunity to tie up the game.
Oh yeah. You're right. But that was to take the lead.
Yeah, that was to take the lead right there. They were down by 1, and I can't even say nothing to that, man. I thought that was an easy layup. He's like, we're going into the heavens, and the sun just happened. Holy Sunday.
Listen. A winnable game for the Rockets, battling all the way back, scratching, clawing against this Thunder team, trying their best, having a chance to win the game. But
twice.
Yes, Twice. But in the end, the Rockets do fall to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and their losing streak does fall to 20 games.
I'm sorry. I gotta be disrespectful right now. John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Christian. How do you make a bunch of mostly unknown players?
Lou Dort.
Lou
Not
Dort.
unknown. He made his name in the bubble.
Okay, him and Shaw and who else? Horford and George.
Well, Shai wasn't playing.
And that's what makes it even worse. Shaw wasn't playing. You made a bunch of, I don't even know how to say most of their names on this team. Like, we even had a conversation about this on the podcast about the last time. Like, you made this team beat you. Oh my God.
Listen, the Houston Rockets, you should be ashamed of yourself. If you're a Rockets fan, I'm pretty sure not every out of you are up and about right now. But
look,
I'm pretty sure you should be ashamed of yourself too. James Harden should probably be happy as hell.
Boogie probably hype right now. He said, "I'm not part of that system anymore." Think.
I mean, yeah, that man behind me. I mean, he did good, but your team is not good. The colors you're repping. This might be worse than that Pistons team. This might be worse than your Orlando team.
Don't do that. Look, I'll say this to end this, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I looked at the standings earlier, and I think before they were looking, they still got an opportunity. If they could fix things up.
Opportunity for what?
To be a part of the playing game. If they start, wait. Let me finish. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now probably 7 games, right? But I think there's 6 or 7 games from the I think the 10th spot. Go look at it. Trust me. Go look at it.
Why should I look? This is foolish. It's not going to happen. I could tell you right now, the Rockets are done. They have no chance of making the play-in game. Don't even think about the playoffs. The play-in game. They have no chance. They are a bona fide lottery pick. That is it. The Rockets are 9 games back from the Grizzlies, who are the 10th seed. 9 games back. I have a chance? What chance?
Look, if they start winning games now, start fixing things up and stuff like that, and hope that the Grizzlies go on some have up and down kind of like whirlwind.
They are 14th, not 11th. If the Grizzlies go on a whirlwind, who's behind them? The Pelicans. Pelicans mess up? Who? The team they just lost to, the Thunder. Who after the Thunder? The Kings. Embarrassing as it is. And the Rockets. Hold on. The Rockets are 5.5 games behind the Kings. They have no chance. That is it. 20 games in a row they have lost.
Yeah.
20 games.
Look,
I'm telling you, they are going to break Will Chamberlain's Lakers record.
I won't do that.
Will Chamberlain's Jerry West Lakers record. Do that.
Look. I try to have some faith, but yeah, there's no chance.
This is embarrassing. It is laughable. If you play on the Rockets, you should be embarrassed.
You can't blame John Wall and Victor Oladipo, man.
They play on the team. They played games.
Yeah.
They played
but
games.
They did what they had to do. They did to the best of their ability.
And everyone should be embarrassed. This is unbelievable now. I understand y'all suffered through injuries, and okay, I was defending y'all for a majority of this losing streak. But even so, what the hell? It's just still an NBA team.
Hey man, look, it can't get worse than the Bobcats back in the day. It can't get worse than the Bobcats. Trust me, it can't get worse than the Bobcats.
It is worse than the Bobcats. You know why? Because they have more talent than the Bobcats had.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine John Wall came back just though on a 20-game losing streak. Welcome back, John Wall. Welcome back.
And what makes it worse, man, is oh my god, I really thought they had that game in Detroit, man. Oh my god. I really apologize to Detroit fans up there, Motor City.
Oh no. Detroit is terrible. Detroit is terrible. They haven't been good since they lost LeBron. And I'm not talking about the Drummond Pistons. I'm talking about the Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton Pistons. They haven't been good since then. Yeah, the Rock is.
Go on, my bad.
The Rock is. It's unbelievable. 20 games. You think I hit 27? You want to make some bets on this or something? Let's make this interesting.
Look. John Wall and Victor Oladipo, man. It's time. I think it's time for y'all to go, man. It's time for y'all to go to better pastures.
As soon as all the people got on the team, he was leaving.
Wait, did he deny the contract?
He did deny the contract. So he's not staying.
Dang, son, what happened, man? I don't know, man.
It's really embarrassing. Watching this Rockets team lose like this.
You see, now I want to take this time to apologize to James Harden for all the things I said.
Now you apologize. Now apologize to James Harden.
Yeah, I lost my pride now because I thought the Rockets were won already. Won at least just one. That's all they have to do is win one, but they haven't. So as a result, I apologize, Harden.
No matter what injuries you're going through, no matter anything, this is unexcusable. Unexcusable. Matter of fact, let's lose something. The last 20 games, the last win they had was against the Memphis Grizzlies. That was in February, the very start of February, February 4th, on a Thursday. Since then, let's do this. Since then, they have lost to the Spurs. They have lost to the Hornets. They have lost to the Pelicans. They have lost to the Heat. They have lost. I'm just checking to make sure. Okay. They have lost to the Knicks. They have lost to the Wizards. When the Wizards were sucking, I believe. They have lost to the Sixers. They have lost to the Bulls. They have lost to the Cavs. They have lost to the Raptors. They have lost to the Grizzlies. Team they last beat. They have lost. Oh, the Cavs again. They have lost to the Nets. They have lost to the Sacramento Kings. They have lost to the Utah Jazz. They have lost to the Celtics. They've lost to the Hawks. They've lost to the Warriors. They have lost to the Detroit Pistons, Detroit basketball. And lastly, or more so currently, they have lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder. How many teams under 500 did they lose to? Let's see. Let's go back then. So Celtics weren't under 500 then. They lost to the Kings under 500. They lost to the Cavaliers twice under 500. They lost to the Pelicans under 500. Twice, I believe.
I think once. I only heard them once, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you did hear them once. Lost to the Pelicans. Lost to the Kings. They lost to the Wizards. They lost to the Cavs. And I'm trying to think if the Bulls were under 500 or over 500 back then. I think they might have been under 500.
Yeah, I think they was around that range of 500 and underneath.
Yeah. It's so embarrassing. And then what about the upsets? Because this is an NBA. Sometimes you win games you technically not supposed to win in terms of how we're looking at it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You can't make this up. That's enough. Enough about the Rockets for now. Until they lose again. Because I know they will lose again.
And I know who they play. I know who they play next game too. Well, go on. You're gonna say it in the predictions anyway, possibly.
All right. Real quick before we go into the news, refer into its news. The other games that happened, the Mavericks and the Blazers. The Mavericks got their revenge in satisfying fashion, absolutely obliterating the Blazers by 40. By 40. Embarrassing loss by the Blazers, but a dominated performance by the Mavs, led by Luka.
Of course.
The other game, the Bulls and the Pistons. The Bulls won like it was 91, I believe. Even though the Pistons were battling, but it was the Bulls in the end coming up with the victory, closing it out. Next, the Magic and the Celtics. Nothing to say here, just Jaylen Brown, 10 3-pointers, going absolutely crazy from three, and leading that Celtics team to beating the Magic.
Yeah.
And lastly, the Cavaliers and the Raptors, a game which the Cavaliers were down by 20 plus and fought all the way back to bring down the lead within 5, but it was a little bit too late. It was under a minute left, and the Cavs just were able to close it out from there, extending the Raptors' losing streak to 8 games.
Yeah.
The second most losing streak in the league. Imagine losing 8 in a row and being like, wow, there's a team doing worse than we are. All right. Before we go into predictions, some sad news. Injury that happened a few nights ago in the Clippers and Hornets game.
What?
In the Clippers and Hornets game, Lamelo Ball, frontrunner for Rookie of the Year, fractured his hand and will sadly miss the remainder of the season. It's a tough blow as an NBA fan, tough blow as a Hornets fan. If you are a Hornets fan, he was the bright star there. He's exciting to watch. He's a great passer, great playmaker, and of course, the way those Hornets announcers were going off, it's always funny. So it's going to be sad missing that action for the remainder of the season, especially when the Hornets were playing great basketball.
Yeah.
He was a big part of it.
Yep. Box office hit. And that's all I'm going to say.
You're smiling about him getting hurt. You know what? Let's talk about that. Because I know a lot of y'all people are happy that someone is injured. Someone
I'm not happy
is
he's
hurt.
injured. I'm not happy he's injured. I just said Ant-Man. That's
why are you laughing?
Because Ant-Man.
The first thing I sent that to him, and the first thing he says is Ant-Man, not anything else.
What you want me to say? Y'all already saying it. Of course.
Now we only saying it. You know what I think it is? You know, and y'all gotta stop this. Us fans have to stop this. The media tends to gravitate to one person or a few people or whatever it was. Last year was Zion. This year is Lamelo. And because of how the media perceives them and how the media loves them and just talks about them and drags them and brags about them and brings them up in every single segment, yes, it is annoying, but that is not the right to hate on a player because of that.
I never hated on him.
People did it with Zion last year. People are doing it with LaMelo this year.
Yet this has nothing to do with
not right, and I think you are feeding into it.
What? I did not hate. When did I ever hate on Melo? I always gave him props.
Now,
this okay.
The truth it comes out. The truth comes out.
Look, number one, I never put down Melo in any kind of way.
You're happy that he's hurt, so Anthony Edwards can win Rookie of the Year.
I'm not happy that he's hurt, but I'm just saying, yep, this is Anthony Edwards' time now, so he could finally.
So what? It's not well earned because he wouldn't have won it if Melo Ball was playing.
It probably won't be co-rookie of the year, but we don't know.
It wasn't co-rookie of the year. LaMelo, with all due respect, Anthony Edwards, because I think he was getting overlooked, and he's having a great season, and he should be talked about a lot. But LaMelo Ball was the front runner.
Yes,
whether the media says it and whether you hate to see it, it was the truth.
And I'm in agreement.
Well known.
Yes, and I'm in agreement, but I'm just saying it's kind of crazy again, just like you said, because of the fact that the media, because of his pops and his other brothers and whatsoever, he's getting all
That's
this
also true.
attention, and yet is disrespect. And yet I'm not gonna. And I say it's kind of disrespectful the fact that you just look at him, which you're right, he is the forerunner, he's the front runner, but yet there's so many other rookies that are like probably like okay, probably not having the same impact as him, but are putting up some kind of level of production that's near his level, and yet that's not getting no recognition, no credit whatsoever. And
And
Anthony
you're
Edwards is main
and
to
you're
that.
100% right, but that is not his fault.
I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm just saying now with this, and I'm not blaming the injury. I'm not saying anything bad, but I'm saying now with this, now people can focus on the other rookie now. That's all. That's all I'm saying. There's no hate. There's no disrespect. There's no hurting or putting down anyone.
All right. Sure. I guess we'll go with that. With that, let's move into the predictions for tonight's set of games. Pretty boring lineup. Well, let's get into it. First, starting off with the Kings against the Cavs.
Cavs.
Yeah, Cavs. The Thunder against the Timberwolves.
T-Wolves.
Thunder. They just faced the Rockets and beat them. Now they're about to face the Timberwolves and beat them. The Hornets going up against the Spurs.
Spurs.
Spurs. Obviously, Lamelo Ball's hurt.
Yeah.
The Jazz going up against the Bulls.
Guys.
Jazz. This is 97. Oh, we have the battle of the losing streaks. The Raptors up against the Rockets. Who you got?
What I told you. I'm not even going to choose. I'm not going to. I'm not going to choose. I'm just going to let that game play out.
The 8-game losing streak going up against the 20-game losing streak.
Well, let's see who could break the streak.
Oh, this might be legendary. This might be a battle. Remember.
Yeah. Anyway, where's it happening? Is it happening up in Florida or is it happening up in Texas?
It is in Houston.
Oh, yeah. Watch them squander that. But I'm not choosing. I'm sorry. I'm not choosing.
You're not gonna choose.
No, I'm not gonna choose. This is embarrassing already for me.
Well, then I'll choose. I got the Raptors. I got the Raptors. Oh, I mean, if you look at this, would you rather be shot 4 times or once? That's how I view
it. Well, it depends which shot is going to be really fatal.
Matter of fact, oh, you're right. Would you rather get shot with a shotgun or get sniped? That's how it really is. You know, it's really a lose-lose, but I think one is more painful.
Yeah.
Depending on if you get sniped in your head, that's just it, you know?
Yeah, that's just it.
But if you get shot in like here,
close range, yep.
That's you gotta feel that. That's an impact. That's what I compare to the Rockets, because that's how they've been playing. Really.
Yeah.
So I got the Raptors. You're not gonna pick?
No, I'm not gonna pick.
He got the Raptors too. All right. The Celtics up against the Grizzlies.
Celtics.
Grizzlies. The first and only prime time game of the night. NBA TV, 9 o'clock. Thanks, March Madness. The Indiana Pacers going up against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee.
I'm going to go with the upset. I got the Pacers. And lastly, the Atlanta Hawks on their 8-game winning streak just faced the defending champions in Los Angeles. Now they will face the uglier sister, the Los Angeles Clippers. Who you got?
I got the Clippers.
Got the Clippers as well. All right. I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
Houston.
We have it's not even a problem anymore.
Houston, no matter what happens, John Wall, Vic, Christian Wood, Jay Sean Tate, I love y'all, man. I still love y'all. And we still gonna go against Harden at all times.
You haven't played on the team. You haven't stepped foot on the court. Matter of fact, you never even been to Houston.
You don't know that, bro.
Matter of fact, you don't even have a Houston Rockets jersey, like of any
You
kind.
don't know that. You don't know that,
Not
bro.
T-Mac, not
Bro, I don't wear
AI, not
jerseys.
AI, not Hakeem, not Ralph Sampson,
Well,
not Yao,
I don't wear jerseys.
not even Jeremy Lin.
I don't wear jerseys, but also I flew over Houston before, bro. Trust me.
Flew over Houston. Flew
Yeah.
over Houston.
Yeah. So I basically got to like be part of it in a way for just like, a good moment, good
If you
minute.
if you flew over it now, what would you see?
The city.
No, you would see garbage. Based off how they're playing for the last 20 games.
Purgatory.
Oh, geez. This is worse than T-Mac not getting out the first round. Well, Harden not making it to the finals, though. That being said, thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Also follow IG down in the description below.
And once again, I am Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this was the Mind of Basketball Podcast. Thanks, refs.